Ladies and gentlemen, the GSA Super Mario Odyssey any percent tournament. Hot transition right there. Shoutouts to the production team. And yeah, today we'll be having Stravos versus Odme. And I'm joined by Okra today with some hot commentary. So hype for this one. Haven't seen Stravos in a while. Hasn't played that much.
Yeah, I feel like both of these guys have just been AFK basically from Odyssey, and they're just now coming back, getting in practice, getting ready for the big race, and well, actually, Stravos just PB'd after coming back just now, so
And like yesterday, I think, right?
yeah, literally yesterday. So I mean, he's warmed up, I guess. The big question mark for me is Odme. I know this man. I've met him once. He practices a lot off stream, but it's not until you see the results that you actually get to know what exactly he's been up to. So it'll be a big reveal. We'll see what happens.
Odme already practicing cloud boost. It almost looks like he always says, when Limcube's commentating my race, I'm doing the cloud boost. Let's see if he actually does it this time. I mean, it's a super hard strat that is almost like guaranteed to fail. But if you get it, everybody will PogChamp in the chat. But yeah, Odme actually usually pretty consistent and strong racer. Stravos on the other side, his recent PBs before the last ones were all race times. So I'm pretty confident in Stravos' ability to perform well in a race.
Yeah, for sure. And again, this will come down to not only how practiced they are, but like just how confident they are in doing all the different strategies that they have been practicing. I mean, I can't realistically see Abby going for cloud boost in a race, but if he wants to and he gets it, like
I can realistically see him go for this. Every time I was commentating for him, he did it. Well, we see what actually happens. And by the way, guys, nice timing to tune into this one, because literally like 10 minutes before this race, we did get a new Super Mario Odyssey world record in any percent by Little Curbs. He did get the 101.21. Might probably need to be retimed. It's maybe 22, but definitely just got the new any percent world record by Curbs. Maybe Stravos was always the candidate to potentially just out of nowhere to completely pop off and like take it, but it's highly unlikely. Curbs is probably the best player at the moment, so it's definitely a deserved world record for him.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. He's been grinding away. I assume Suicide might have and Micro might have been grinding away if they had working internet, but neither of them has been streaming because their internet's dead. So we've been seeing Locurs put in the work. And now that Stravos is back, maybe we'll see some stuff from him as well. It's all we can do is wait and watch and see what happens here. But it's super exciting times. Everyone's like, oh, joking around, any percent's dead, but clearly it's not. Obviously,
no, for sure. Like the high level competition currently is probably as high as it can get. It's just that Nitro and Suicide both apparently have some streaming and connection issues, so they can't really show their skill currently. But I mean, they're gonna get back up there, I'm sure. I can definitely see these runners push until the 1 hour flat for now, and then we'll see where we can take it.
And it looks like Odme scrolling up and down. He's itching to go. He wants to race.
It does look like we are about to start here, though. So
yeah,
probably just a couple of seconds to go, and then we'll be on our way. Both runners on 1.0. By the way, I think I disappeared from screen. I'm still here, guys. Don't worry.
We're still alive. But yeah, so to reiterate, the whole GSA tournament for Super Mario Odyssey, we're going to make sure that all these runs are live, so have some anti-cheat measures. So in the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see the screenshots that each of our runners is going to have to take throughout the run. So the first one is lost in the luggage in the Sand Kingdom. Second one is the nut inside the tower in Wooded Kingdom. You usually break that with the uproot. And then in Luncheon, piled on the salt, the salt triple, we like to call it, or the 3 moons that they'll be using the screenshot feature to capture, make sure the run is live, run is hot. And yeah, just keep an eye out for that.
I guess we are at least assuming that both of them get the actual Salt Triple, which is actually an advanced strat, but at this point, most of the runners just call that moon the Salt Triple Moon because that's the fastest strat to obtain that moon.
Yeah. There is a slower method, say, loses about a second or so, but it is safer. But these guys, safe isn't in their vocabulary. They go all out.
So I think both runners probably about to start. Not. I hope I don't say too much, but it's looking like they're probably in some pre-race talks and literally about to count down.
The anticipation is killing me, man. Oh, there we go.
I think that might be it. So one interesting thing that I want to get into just very shortly is Stravos' loads have been timed in the past to be strangely slow for some reason. He has been resetting his switch and stuff. It probably doesn't come into effect this much today, probably not at all. But it's interesting. Loads are behaving pretty weird in this game, but it's just a tiny difference. And mostly a difference like this has never really decided a race yet. I mean, definitely not here.
Yeah, this is one of the things we've not fully understood with Odyssey and the Nintendo Switch is load times. At best, as we can tell, it might as well be random. But, it's just something to think about because it does affect the final time you get, even though you might not have much control over it. So, things to keep an eye out for.
So let's talk about Stravos' cap. If there's any playground for like a runner at Stravos in Cap Kingdom, he's definitely the best runner when it comes to it. I think he has like the world record for just Cap Kingdom. It's like a low 220. Nobody's even close. And he's also on a physical copy. Yeah. So we'll see what he can show us today. Currently, I think he almost caught up a bit on Odme already, like at the first door.
I mean, whoa. That's hot.
Hot.
But yeah, lots of different tiny micro things that most people would never notice. This frog movement is a little different though. That is the best frog movement.
That's at least you can at least definitely see that Stravos does do something different there. Also, his setup for left side definitely way faster than Odme here with the backflip.
Mm-hmm.
Very fast top ahead as well. Yeah, this guy's Cap Kingdom is pretty good.
Yeah, he's played it once or twice. He's a little infamous for how much he resets. So just more chances to play Cap Kingdom. So he's gotten pretty good. That will be Stravos taking a lead, a couple seconds lead, but a lead in Cap Kingdom right at the start.
The next big trick coming up, first Moonskip though, is probably the one that has been giving some trouble to Stravos today. This was probably not a 2:16 cap there for Stravos. I think the timer is just slightly off, but obviously not a big deal. I think it just refreshed. But yeah, once again, not a big deal at all. And Stravos is heading into the FMS first Moonskip right here, which is the trick that would be a little bit of trouble. Let's see how he manages this time. Very cautious.
He's been practicing this pretty much the entirety of his stream leading up to the race start. So it's really good to see him get it, and Odme gets it as well. It's always good to see both runners get it first try in a race. It can always be a little rough when one guy gets it first try and the other one's in there for 20-30 seconds. Just, man, this trick sucks. So good to see it. Both diamond skip, very nice.
Definitely agree. Stravos taking damage there, which actually doesn't matter at all because the multi-moons actually don't refill Mario's health. So in this case, he just took damage because he was very close to the chain jump, which is actually optimal. It's not optimal to take damage, but the closer you are to a capture, the shorter the zip capture animation is. So definitely preferred there.
Yeah, it's actually, talking about micro things, we found ways of shortening the time just a little bit. If you capture something and dive towards it, you shorten the distance between Mario and that capture, you shorten the time of that capture animation a little bit, and every little bit matters. So lots of tiny things like that you're going to see throughout this run, runners diving into captures as they capture them. There's just so many tiny little things we found in this game. It hasn't even been a year. It's pretty nuts.
Getting there though. It's not that we always said, oh, this game isn't even a year old, but soon. I think what was it, like 27th of October?
Yeah, that's 27th of October.
Yeah, that's when the game released. So it's not even 2 months, and this game will actually hit the 1 year mark, which is crazy. We have done so much in this year. It's absolutely mind-blowing, actually.
Yeah. So both the runners having done first... Whoa, well, okay. I shouldn't say anything, but... both runners having done first moon skip FMS, they skipped the first moon. They need to get a backup moon, or a 5th moon, so they're going to be heading to this chest. I know Stravos goes for chest clip. I don't know if Odme does. We'll see what he does here. This is Stravos setting up for the chest clip. And Odme also setting up. See who gets it. Stravos got it. And I think Odme has it as well.
Oh, he wasn't high enough. I think his backflip was too late because you could still see Mario backflipping before he gets the moon, and you don't want that. You want to just basically hit the moon before the backflip is visible. Like before the cap throw is visible, that's what actually was visible. Yeah, the backflip, you want to see that, but his cap throw was visible, so a bit too late on his cap throw input for me.
Yeah, that using a spawning moon to clip, we understand it a little bit. It's not frame perfect, but it is frame tight. Yeah. You have to backflip and then throw your cap around about the same time that you would collect the moon. Again, not frame perfect, but frame tight. And so missing it by half a second can do you in.
Yeah, the thing is we don't really have any frame data at all, so even the hardest and trickiest of tricks, there's like nothing we can call actually frame perfect in this game because we don't know. There's some tricks that seem very tight, like the perfect way to reset your rocket flower seems to be only possible in like 2 frames when we like play back video, but we actually don't have frame data, so there's literally no trick that seems to be frame perfect yet, at least we can tell.
We'll find one. It's there. I know it is. We'll get it.
It has to be. The one thing that seems to be like frame perfect is like, it's not though, because you can buffer jumps to not get stunned and this stuff, but it's like buffering. It's cutting out on like the first frame, but it's actually not the frame perfect input. We'll see. So, first capture coming up here in sand, not yet though. It's the luggage moon. It's the one before swings clip. So still some time to go, but once again, you can type in exclamation mark. SMO proof to know more about the captures.
And it's really interesting. Odme entered this room, Rumble on the sandy floor, as Stravos entered it. So they're that one room apart in time, you could say. It's pretty close so far.
Yeah, not much at all. Stravos having a better start to Cap and Cascade, but this bonk to get the 4th moon actually cost him a lot because he fell down all the way, probably like 5 seconds or something. Odme still ledge grab there, which is slow, but not a big deal.
A little bit of different movement there from Stravos. A lot of people will backflip off of that icicle instead of doing what Stravos did. Roughly around the same time, so it doesn't really matter, but it's just good to see some movement options, you know?
Yes, technically Stravos' movement should be faster there, because he basically still keeps the momentum towards the moon. And yeah, this is Stravos' patented ice dram. He does it because he will be going for nodes here, so the bullet bill is actually in a better position, very close to the pillar there for him. Because he doesn't even get the crate. He's one of the only runners to do that, and definitely being super optimal. Odme still going for nodes as well, though. Interesting.
Yeah, so a little bit of a better bullet bill position there for Stravos, but they both got the dram. I can't really complain, you know?
Exactly.
And here is that moon lost in the luggage. There's
Stravos getting the capture. And yeah, both runners being on 1.0, Odme probably getting a screen capture right here.
Yep.
Taken. So let's see how Stravos' things goes. Not getting it first try.
Okay.
Going for double clip.
Double clip is an interesting choice in a race, but I mean, if anyone's going to go for that, it's probably Stravos. So I mean, I can't say I'm terribly surprised. And Odme going for a single clip, almost fell through the floor. He actually got such a bad angle on that clip. He almost fell completely out of bounds and died. Oh my god, that was a little bit of a monk-esque. Just a little bit of a monk-esque. But Stravos also getting the second clip in his double clip, so
first try.
Good to see there.
Also new swings movement. Yeah, this guy's early game is ridiculous. He literally goes for everything. This movement saves up to like 0.3, 0.5. It's a little optimization there if you play it very well. And Stravos just doing it all. Let's see how his notes go at the end here. But he's on, other than that bonk, this run is pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say this is quite a hot start.
I mean, Odme is still up there, definitely getting, I think, second try swing slip. It was a bit dodgy because you can actually die there. Oh, that's obviously a big one.
Yeah, running into that bullet bill, I mean, a couple of things. You took damage, so when you get a moon, it heals you, but there's this healing animation, so that loses time. Plus, he killed the bullet bill, so you had to wait for the next cycle. Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate.
Yep. So Stravos coming up at nodes right now, and once again, for the people that actually don't know, we've been finding out that getting nodes at the end is just a tiny bit faster than the great insane spin count there on Dune. Stravos actually flying through the stage, as expected from him.
Oh my god. Alright, but yeah, optimal notes is actually really hard to do. We'll see if Stravos can pull it off here.
I think he can.
Okay. That was pretty good,
oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he actually, this is like his patent in Strat once again, where he does a small vault. I have no idea, this timer, I'm pretty sure it's not accurate. If it is, that's insane. Because Stravos would be about to get like a 10.07 sand or something.
Yeah,
I mean, not exactly, like a 10.12 or something. Oh, that bonk, another minor mistake.
Yeah, I think that's, well... I think that's like a 10-18.
Yeah, like a 10-18, which is still ridiculous.
Rips the world record, yep. Correct. Unfortunate.
But yeah, Stravos only really 2 mistakes so far. That one bonk there, and then... I mean, he didn't get swing slip first try, and he bonked in Cascade, but ridiculous run early game so far.
Yeah,
Odme's still up there. We can't forget that Odme's PB is not at Stravos' level currently, and he's still playing very well.
Yeah, I mean, but again, both of these runners really not having, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, not terribly punishing mistakes. It's just tiny little things that at this level really do make a difference and do matter. So, starting to see. I mean, I actually might have a chance to catch up here. Maybe not in Late Kingdom because pretty much nothing happens in Late Kingdom, but Wooded will be where things certainly get interesting and might see some discrepancies coming up.
So Stravos' Lake, another very optimized kingdom for him. The one thing that he's not able to do is the down throw strat because he's actually a pro-con player, so he's just it's technically not possible for him to perform that, but other than that, I'm assuming he's gonna do all the good stuff. Very sick spin from Odme there.
Yeah, one of those things, Joy-Cons are technically the optimal controller to run this game with, but they're also very uncomfortable for many runners, so most people choose not to use them. Which leads, I mean, there are only a few places where down throws are actually really optimal, but, you know, it's one of those things, it's in the back of everyone's mind, like, hey, if I wanted an actually, you know, quote-unquote perfect run, I'd have to play on this controller, which I hate, so,
yep.
One of those things.
All right, so Stravos not making any mistakes. So far, he did lose some speed after the Zipper Moon, which that's like obviously minor stuff as well. But I mean, that stuff actually matters. His PB right now is, I think, with 102.04, which is very, very up there. So he can't make many mistakes if he wants to beat that here.
He actually lost that recording, sadly. So his official PB is a 102.14, but
I guess
yeah, you know, I mean, he got the time, but his stream died and he wasn't local recording. It's one of those things. So he'll get it eventually. It'll be fine. But
Odme showing some interesting camera angles right there, and I've seen him do that a lot in different places. So at one instance in Luncheon is where he does that to hit the globe with me, but there he just turned his camera around to basically dive in a good angle. Towards the boss fight. Both clean boss fights.
Very. And both of our runners are good on coins as well, heading into the Wooded Kingdom. I think Odme actually has enough to go shopping in snow right now, so, you know.
Yeah, he's good to go.
And so does Stravos. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Stravos actually with 209 coins. So both of these balling out a ton of coins. They won't have any issues with that one unless they die like 6 times, which I can't see happening.
Yeah, no, they'll be fine. It's fine. Yeah, so the big question mark here coming up on the Wooded Kingdom, the nut clip, you know, this is kind of the sought after thing everyone needs to go for in the runs to PB at this point, at this level. And just doing it in a no reset setting in a race is a little bit spooky because you literally have no backup, so you have no second chances. You either get it or you just have to do a different route. You could go for rock clip if you really wanted to, but it's one of those question marks. It's what is the approach that you take here? How confident are you? You know, so some of these things we might see evolving as just like a minute. You know.
thinking about these two guys' play style though, I would actually say 100% both of them would go for rock clip if they didn't get it. And then obviously if you already commit for the route and do like the out of bounds movement and fail there, that's where it actually gets scary. But if they don't get that, I'm actually 100% sure both of them would go for rock clip.
Yeah, both of these guys, I'm pretty confident they'll attempt rock clip, but you know, we have seen runners get the out of bounds move and then fall into deep woods. We've seen it happen. So it's kind of one of those things. It is one of the spookiest parts of the entire run. In like now for Stravos, and then after the shot moon for Odme.
Yep, definitely. So as far as I'm understanding, our next moon verification moon here is the second moon in the tower, not the one in the nut. Definitely getting there soon. Stravos probably getting the clip there.
Yep, got it.
Very clean. Out of bounds movement, very fast wall kick as well.
Nice to get up on top.
Looks good to me.
Got it, yep.
So actually guys, he should focus, even though Odme is coming up at rock clip right now, and Stravos did fail ramp at first, but look at his strat he does here. Oh, he actually didn't get it, but usually that's like something crazy there.
Odme looked like he was out of bounds, but actually was just a little bit short. I think his backflip was a little too far away from the wall, so he didn't actually get fully out of bounds. He's gonna go for the back up, look for a rock clip here. This is a time loss, even if he gets it first try, which he does not, unfortunately. This is kind of one of the risk factors, but he gets it second try. And the out of bounds movement is different from the rock clip. He's in the spot. He's not got the out of bounds movement, but he's still out of bounds. This is like I'm saying, this is the most spooky part of the whole run. This is where the monk asses come out. Oh, he's got.
I think he actually clipped in. I think he actually clipped into the room.
Oh no!
Wait.
Oh no! Oh my God! Okay, so he did not get back inbounds in the correct way. Is there a way for him to get back on top of the ramp? Not without using the
I guess technically he could just go to the other side now.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's trying right now. I mean, he can jump out of this side basically and wall jump up. That's probably the smartest approach. I guess that's still the fastest moon at this point, and he got the clip. So I guess that's the best backup for him to do. Still. Yeah,
it becomes
losing sometimes.
Yeah, this is one of those question marks. You know, if you get the out of bounds moon and you don't get the fastest movement up to the ramp, is it still worth to do the ramp? Obviously, in this case, Odme decided that's what he wanted to do, but you know, there might be a faster backup. It's one of those things people haven't really looked at routing it because it's not what you want to have happen, obviously.
Stravos missing flower road skip the first try, gets to the second try and does the roll cancel jump there to initiate his triple, which is always so flashy and stylish looking, and it's also faster. A good thing about this game is actually it's rarely the case that the better looking strat is slower. It still is the case sometimes, but most of the time when a strat looks really cool, it's also faster. It's not for every moon, but in most of the cases.
You know, it's a scientific fact that swag makes you 20 seconds faster. Like that's how it works, man.
Stravos coming up at the second capture moon. Capture taken, very nice. Secret moon in the tower acquired, and heading to probably skip the boss here.
Yep, skipping the boss, gets the spin pound. He's gonna have to buffer a jump here so he doesn't get staggered. He gets it. Now he's heading to the nut around the corner, and then he's going into the flooded pipeway, which is actually in the old wooded route, like the OG wooded route before all this out-of-bounds stuff was discovered. It's still a fast sub-area, so, you know, we needed 2 moves after the nut around the corner, so there you go. Gets
unfortunate.
That'll cost him. And Odme's got the flower road skip, very nice.
So Stravos with some minor mistakes here in Wooded. He did not get the perfect setup for the ramp at first. Failed flower road skip once, and this bonk. Probably adding up to around 10 seconds of time lost compared to gold. But he's probably still on a very good run. Like still just some minor mistakes. Probably PBable, but it's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, and certainly gaining time over Odme in this kingdom. Odme not having the best treatment out of bounds, unfortunately. Giving him a little bit of a rough time, so... You know, hopefully he recovered. You know, it's not something that can't be made up for in this race, but it definitely makes the game that much harder for him. And his capture is also taken, so both the runners now have 2 captures.
Great to see, and something that I predict, like as soon as we get into the second round here, where the competition level is extremely high, people already got it down. They are used to the capture mechanic now, and Odme with a very optimistic setup there to skip the fight as well.
Ooh, the cap return jump actually
Oh
not
my
the height
God.
she needs. So he's going to be falling into the deep woods. He still needs to get 3 moons. There are 3 moons here in the deep woods. See how he goes about it. I mean, he is an all-unique moons runner. He knows where these moons are. He knows what to do. It is faster to get the moons here in the deep woods than to go back above ground and try to get the 3 moons he was aiming for. So gets the moon under the tree. He's probably gonna look to capture the dino or go into the treasure trap. Or is he just leaving? Curious now. On the fly routing, boys. On the fly routing.
Yeah, so he's probably just leaving and then heading into
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where this particular beanstalk leads you, but that's a first.
To the Odyssey.
Oh, okay, that's awkward because there's like no moon up close. I mean, and he doesn't have a checkpoint.
There are no checkpoints to work to. Yeah, I think if he had stayed down there, if he had gotten the dino, there are 2 moons you can get pretty fast with the dino. Break the rolling rock and break the stones, and then take that beanstalk right to the Odyssey, and then you just leave. That probably would have been the best route at that point. But you know, a little bit of race panic can happen to us. Certainly was not planning on falling into the deep woods, I don't think.
So I'm still gonna wonder if he gets this moon. What's gonna be his last moon? Is he gonna get like the fire bro?
I think that's the fastest single
Maybe
moon.
the 2.5D section moon there? I don't know. That's very interesting routing on the go. And that's sadly a first. I've been talking about this potentially happening. It's just the way this rooted route goes. It goes with a huge risk, which is exactly that event. You are basically forced to fall down. He's probably just going to get the first pipeway moon.
Yeah.
It looks like.
I'm not sure if that's faster or not than the fire bro moon, but at this point, you know, you just get the why is he pausing so much?
I don't know if that's like the pause mechanic. Probably not.
Probably not. I think he's a little upset with himself. I mean, I don't blame him. That's pretty rage inducing. But you know, just get the moon, get out of there. Oh lord, he's like 2 minutes behind at this point, unfortunately.
I mean, there's still Ruined Kingdom. Let's not forget Ruined Kingdom on the front later on.
If Stravos dies in Ruined, it could change the whole game.
Sounds like a meme. It's actually true, though.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens, I think Stravos is also still on a very good run, which can potentially come at least close to his PB or be his official next PB, because once again, his PB isn't recorded and he still hasn't made almost no mistakes. Some major mistakes, not major mistakes, some minor mistakes around, like a little bit of them, like some bongs and like one missed ramp setup, but that's pretty much all, so nothing big at all yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the things that have gone wrong for Stravos this run have been relatively minor. That, unfortunately, was a bit of a catastrophic wooded for Odme. Just has to kind of pull himself together and you know, actually play with the cool head for the rest of this run. Which admittedly is a little tough, but he's got Cloud here. This should be it should be easy to kind of chill out in Cloud. He goes for Cloud Boost, gets it. What a monster. Stravos unfortunately takes a death trying to get the moon under the bridge, so have to go and get it and make sure to not trigger Klepto here.
So at first I want to say shoutouts to Odme. What a legend. He said it. He's gonna do it every time I'm commentating, and he did actually get it. That's like a best looking trick.
Man. I thought he was gonna go for it and die like an idiot, but I stand corrected. He's a legend. Confirmed.
And then once again, that trick once again looks insanely cool, and it is faster. Confirmed, cooler looking strats means faster.
It's confirmed. I mean, it doesn't,
but in some cases. And yeah, the second capture moon was in Wooded. Both runners getting that second capture was the secret moon in Wooded. But yeah.
But yeah, so one lost kingdom separating our runners at this point. So it's still about 2 minutes-ish. It is not outside the realm of possibility for Odme to catch up, but it is an uphill battle. He has to basically play perfect. So
that's actually interesting.
This is mean tree, you know.
That's still interesting though. Like a mistake like that seems like like you can't come back from this, but it is technically possible. This just the game, the way this game is made, there's like some mistakes you can do. I mean, Stravos showing one of them right there. That's obviously not a 2-minute time loss, but things like that at first add up. And there's also like these huge punishes with like falling off Meg. I mean, ruined. Not seen yet. But hey, this was the first race someone fell into the deep woods. Might be the first race that someone dies to the dragon. I don't know.
There is always a first time for everything. You can never count it out. Yeah, so Odme actually made the meme tree jump, got on the mountain road, and then fell to his death, unfortunately. So has to do meme tree jump again, but gets the first time this time around, so positives. And yeah, I mean, Stravos here in City Hall, this is one of those things, we saw it happen before. Someone falling in City Hall loses just a buttload of time. One of those things you want to avoid, but can happen, can cost you. And little hiccup there from Stravos.
If you look at the kingdoms that can potentially punish you the most, it's probably Wooded, #1, because of Deep Woods. But I mean, it's actually ruined, obviously, because if you die to that fight, you lose like 2 minutes. Then it's probably Bowser's because of Meg and Wooded, Deep Woods, and also Lost very up there. A lot of death potential, and obviously Klepto potentially attacking you and stealing your head with huge cutscenes.
I mean, if we're talking about which teams can really screw you over, it's all of them. It's all of them. Anything can happen in this run. Stravos having some problems aiming, shaking his controller under frustration. The aiming is partially done with motion controls, so if he shakes his controller out of anger, you just see his cursor go all over the place, so he's a little mad at himself. Ooh, Odme didn't get the cage triple, actually didn't land, got a wall jump, so he did the wall jump and bounced, made it miss, and he fell into the poison again. This is not his run.
So what's he gonna do from this point? Once again, Klepto is really activated at this point, so if he wants to not have that cutscene play, he needs to go. He actually doesn't need to go all the way around. He could have just went to the left side. Not sure if he's planning to get some different moves. Maybe at this point he's just gonna get Glide on and twist and turn up, which is actually a very flashy moon to watch. I think he's gonna do it at this point.
Yeah, he's getting Glide on. He's flying out to this moon on this island, which this is some darker side routing for you, ladies and gentlemen. So,
but let's actually be real. So technically, these can't be that much slower than getting the Klepto re-trigger and then these two moons, like the cage and this one. If he gets this trick here first try, which is a category. Oh wait, I think he gets it.
He's got the capture warp, so he gets the key to activate the moon and gets the capture warp to glide on me. Boom, got it.
Very flashy trick, and I don't think it uses that much time to the actual moons he got there. And cool show. We might see some darker side in the future on this channel, and definitely a cool looking one.
Definitely, yeah. Man, if only I could get twist and turn first try in my darker side runs, that'd be great.
But Stravos heading into Day Metro, some flaws here in Night Metro, especially the bonk at the start. Once again, the higher you bonk, the more time you lose basically, because you fall all the way down. And yeah, his Wiggler definitely not perfect too, but still a very solid run so far.
Yeah, definitely. Just a little bit of struggles, but see if he can get the scooter clip. Gets the drive-by. He's a legend. Yeah, that's one of the coolest looking things that'll happen in Metro Kingdom. You can get this capture as well, and then head to bench friends, but for the most part, this is just clean movement for the rest of this Metro Kingdom. See if you can close it out. Pretty decent pace to be on at the start. Especially, that's what you want to see after a nighttime Metro, where just kind of little things like that are happening. But yeah, see Odme here can get the awning jump. Looks like he's got it. So points for Odme. Didn't mess up where Stravos did. Good job.
Stravos will be doing a more reason. At this point, it's not even that reason anymore, but he's going to be talking to Pauline and the musicians a bit earlier than we originally did, which saves a little bit of time, because this movement that he just did is quite fast if you do it right, and he did it very good. So he'd be saving some time with that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know, wait, it's the same moons, but changing the order makes it faster? Why haven't we done this before? So...
Yeah, shoutouts to Tuval for finding this one. When we initially rerouted Metro, and we did find a we did find a factual faster route than the one Eddie is going for right now. Stravos climbing that tree. But that route is extremely hard to perform in an actual timed run, like literally nobody goes for it. But then Tuval just came up with this model, wait, why don't we just go this way and save like a second over the original route? And now obviously everybody does that because it's very easy, in quotes.
Yeah. Easy. Everything in this game is easy, as Econ would say. But there's the OTEP for Stravos.
Stravos probably not on PB pace anymore. It's just insane how hard it is to PB with like a 102, low 102 time. These bonks, especially if you add the Cascade bonk and the Night Metro bonk, they probably add together to like a 12-second time loss, and then there happens some stuff in Metro, some bonks as well. Probably like 25 seconds loss. It might be technically still possible, but chances are very slim from PB, but still amazing run.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's been looking like a clean day Metro from the very start. I mean, I haven't seen anything go wrong for him other than climbing the tree, which is relatively minor.
Just bonked there, sadly, on his climb. Actually, interesting backup. Every time I fail there, it seems like impossible to get back on track with your backflips, because usually your strat there is to do 3 backflips, which just happen to be perfectly aligned with the building. Still backs it up, gets the spin point on the very top, which is optimal, and heading into the last subroom of this kingdom.
The People's Room, as it has been called. But gets the bullseye, headed in.
Very hot dive into a power roller into this room, starting up with a spin throw. Strav once again going for all optimal strats, we know.
Yeah, that doorway is so narrow that if you power roll even a little bit too far to the left, too far to the right, you will bonk, you will completely come to a full stop, you will be sad. But, you know, Stravos doesn't care. He's a man, he goes for it, and he gets it.
Okay. His lead, obviously, very, very confident at the moment. Run is still long. We have Snowdrum, we have Ruined, we have all of that jazz. And Strav potentially might be PBing. We don't know. Maybe he's just going to play out of his mind and get up there, but it's definitely still going to be interesting. Actually, Strav is literally at the same place right now. He's basically just stealing Odme's Odyssey. He's just leaving, you know. Odme's just going there. I'm just going to park my Odyssey right there. And apparently Stravos was just going into the stealing the Odyssey. What a lad, dude.
But yeah, here's the scoot clip from Odme. Gets a little bit of a setup here, just taking his time. Gets it.
R-quad clip, not like any other clip we do here. We kind of use the motion control feature of the scooter, which is actually unknown of. Like, the game doesn't tell you that the scooter has this ability, but if you use motion controls, you can lean in further, and we use that to clip into the cage.
Odme did not get the capture up there because that pylon was actually at no point on the screen, so it wasn't active. That's one of the things in this game. If things aren't on camera, they generally aren't active. So, you know, you have to have Captain Toad's head on screen before you can talk to him. You have to have a capture on screen before you can capture it. All kinds of really fun things like that. And Stravos destroying Captain Toad's home like a monster.
Alright, so Stravos having some pretty optimal move there up to Captain Toad. Snow Kingdom, once again, a kingdom he's kind of known for, at least at the, like, some months back, he was one to optimize the kingdom very efficiently with some interesting strats. We might probably see it in the Blowy Joy Poison Room, where he leaves one spiny alive potentially. He's been revolutionizing this kingdom for some time. Probably not the best at it anymore, but definitely very revolutionary thinking and strat finding from him there at some point.
Just narrowly avoids the awkward downward wall jump from that bridge. Sometimes if you don't have the right position, trying to wall jump off of that bridge in the Snow King will just send you straight downwards instead of giving you height, which is super terrible. So good that he avoided that, although it was a little close.
Stravos going for an optimal spin point right there. Very hot snow so far. Just barely making the bridge, doesn't matter. So let's look into his room right here, because the strat that he does right here is also something that he found, which is called the low just roll strat. You kind of barely want to make that moving block cycle, and Stravos just found, wait, I can just literally slowly roll up to it and perfectly make that triple jump. So let's see if he's gonna get the optimal spiny strat there, which is actually leave one spiny alive intentionally. Does it. knocks it off here, which makes it so that the camera panning is a bit more efficient for him, because the camera tries to go to the moon and then back to him, but since he's closer, he's saving time there.
Optimal, boys. That bonk from Odme, that was also optimal.
Yep. Happens to the best of them.
Oh, okay. I thought Odme was going to actually fall down there, but he saved it with the wall jump. A little bit of a close call there, so, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
That's still all good. So Stravos is coming up at Goomba Room, which once again is one of the rooms that has a tiny bit of RNG, because every enemy in this game and the way it's spawned is random. You can actually capitalize on that RNG a little bit on the way you stack up the Goombas, but it's just a tiny time difference depending on how the RNG is. Very good. Bullseye moon there from Odme.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're talking about. It looked like Odme was lining up to dive roll boost into the people's room, but realized that he was just going to bonk straight onto the railing, not even on the door frame, so immediately bailed on that one. It was a good call. But, you know, it's kind of the things that can happen. Angles are weird if you're not 100% on point, paying attention, able to react to everything, so...
For sure.
Good on Odme there. Stravos getting the heart skip, going to be warping to the Odyssey next to perform the snow painting jump, aka Snow Dram.
The legendary jump. Stravos definitely practicing it quite a lot. Pretty much every top runner has probably spent hours, if not days. And when I'm saying days, like literally 24 hours of practice on this jump. It's so punishing when you miss Stravos' insanely quick setup there. Let's see if he actually can make that work.
Oh,
gets it.
God, what a legend.
Very flashy.
That was no setup at all. Good lord.
Yeah. So looking at the timer right now, I mean, I don't know how accurate the timer is, but let's say he's about 20 seconds behind his current leaderboard PB, which I don't know how much time save he actually has in the later sections of the run. If he plays completely out of his mind, it's like technically possible to get a new leaderboard PB this run if he just keeps playing the way he's playing. But still ridiculous. Probably.
Stravos in chat confirming for us that snow was in fact a gold. He's on fire, man.
Yeah, I can see that. Don't know if that actually did the only thing, he didn't mess up anything. And the only thing that was a little bit sloppy was to jump on the bridge. But if you think about it now, he did the camera straight for the spine. He's very, very quick snow rim. No bonks, I think.
Yeah, no bonks at all.
So ridiculous snow. And
insane.
Also, Seaside coming up, which is after cap, probably Stravos' next playground. We have that BTT sheet going in the community, which tracks the best theoretical times of players. And Stravos used to have every single segment for Seaside, every single one.
He still has most of them.
I think he has everything but one currently.
Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely his kingdom. We're gonna see Rocket Flower reset. We're gonna see everything.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, I can almost see him going for the 2-frame tight one, because if he wants to make this run like that's obviously a little bit.
We were talking him up, and you know, we cursed him.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously still has a race to win, so he obviously doesn't want to slop around too much. He's playing on a pretty confident lead, but we do actually not know if he knows that. Odme actually going for snow clip here. Let's see if he gets the one. You can moon clip with this move.
Got that clip, yeah. Just a little bit too far away from the wall to moon clip into the wall there, but if you do clip into the wall, you can get to this loading zone faster for the poison room. Saves a little bit of time. Not the biggest deal, but because he did spend some time setting up that moon clip and he failed it, he is now facing some time loss because of that.
So, Stravos getting the RTA-friendly flower rockets reset, where you just basically ground pound before the moon. Once again, it's technically possible to start your spin throw around, as we know, 2 frames, or an up throw works as well, around 2 frames before you actually grab the moon. And then the refresh is still gonna happen, because the moon basically tries to destroy the rocket flower, but the spin / up throw still picks it up as the animation happens, and you can cut that entire ground pound animation, which is like a second, the ground pound and the jump, and then jumping into the moon.
Yeah, really technical stuff, but you know, Stravos wants to go for it, and he's dedicated more time than anyone else into mastering it. So you know, good on him.
So yeah, Stravos only really making one mistake so far on C-side, which is that 1 second try.
I mean, having a little bit of interesting movement here in the Goomba room, but manages to didn't save it. Once you kill those Goombas, it's over because you need 4 Goombas to activate the switch. So if the Goombas die, you just die and reset the room. So I was about to say he saved it, but did not. Rip. Goes at it again.
So Stravos, once again, 1 mistake in C-side, which is the intended Gushen moon that we just grabbed without the Gushen. Didn't get the fast single jump, wall jump there, so probably losing like 5 seconds there, maybe 4. But that's nothing major. Pretty clean C-side, very clean C-side other than that.
Yeah, so there's Stravos leading C-side before Odme is able to enter it. Just showing the gap in the runners right now.
Yeah, once again, comparing this time with his PB, he seems to be like 27 seconds behind, which is still a lot. I think his season initially was very good, but his run, no matter what happens here, is still amazing. And yeah, Ruined coming up though, not yet actually. It's still luncheon time.
He's in luncheon.
That's the thing. And what actually is coming up is the last capture moon. Salt triple.
Salt triple here. 1, 2, 3, and he's got the height, and he's up. Just has to screen capture this moon here.
The roll cancel jump.
He did not get it.
Forgets it entirely.
They're well.
We do have a backup moon. We do have a backup moon in Forks, the Forks secret room.
Yeah, so in the fast clicking Forks, it's the fast clicking Forks detour moon. Odme taking a bonk on Snowdram. Gonna have to set it up again. Unfortunate there.
Big time loss if you lose if you miss Snowdram.
Yeah, the backup capture. Oh, Stravos dying on Spewert. What is happening right now?
Wait, how did?
I'm gonna put a question mark for him there on that one. That is probably the easiest boss fight in the whole run. What are you doing, buddy?
Happens to the best of them.
But yeah, so there is a backup in the Forks room. We collect it first in the any percent route, but it is technically the secret moon, the fast clicking Forks detour. Odme bonking again. Have to set up some again.
Yeah, those bongs on Snowdram are really punishing, because once again you are pretty much committed to get this last moon. There's no other moon close to you. There's literally on the outside there's no moon you can actually legitimately get. I think this is
there we go.
Barely making it.
the meme squats.
Yeah, Odme definitely celebrating himself there.
And just spin jumping, you know, he's happy. He got it, man.
How did he even capture that globe? That wasn't even visible to me. I think he's like spin jumped onto it and then just barely threw Cappy.
Maybe Cappy spawned under Mario? Oh.
Potentially. Stravos coming up on this room, which is once again a room where he pioneered a strat that pretty much everybody does there, which is the long jump and then just cap dive into the moon, which is the fastest way of doing that.
Yeah. Pretty cool. I mean, about to say pretty clean start to luncheon. He did die in Spewert, but everything after has been pretty not shabby. Gets the nice triple jump, box break, cap throw. Very nice.
Yeah, his PB for him is certainly not alive anymore after that Spewert death. But on the other side, he can still basically, like at this point, he obviously wants to win the race. I mean, let's not forget that. That's his main objective. On the other side, he can still try to play as good as he played in the other kingdoms and maybe get a gold or 2. He already got 1 in Snow apparently, so still a very sick run.
For sure. Yeah, so here we're going to get on the Salt Pile Island here, and then it'll be the fast clicking Forks room, in which Stravos does need to screen capture one of the moons. If he remembers. Hopefully he remembers.
Yep, it's the secret moon in Forks, so he needs to get the one on the right. So yeah, that's the one he needs to capture.
And Odme can get the spin pound into the roll on the edge there. So here's the moon for Stravos. Gets the screenshot. All right.
Nice. Once again, dropping one capture, and that's exactly why we do have that backup, especially when your run is looking kind of good. And until the death that is pure, the run was still looking good. And when you do the Sol triple jump, maybe your thoughts are still somewhere else, but not a big deal. Odme barely missing the refresh with the flower. Actually, kind of. It's once again even the RTA friendly strat is pretty timing intensive.
Yeah. Definitely not one of the most intuitive things to try to either explain or pick up, but and Stravos actually gets the spin throw to pull up the turnip as he dives onto the ledge. Very swag there.
Stravos with the spin pound run into the turnip. I've seen actually a lot of people recently adapt that. At some point I've only seen Fur and Stravos do it, but now it seems like a lot of people picked up on that. Seen Safaro and some other runners do that recently. It is slightly obviously more optimal than just long jumping into the turnip, because long jumping sets Mario on like a very low base speed at the start.
Yeah. But yeah, Stravos just has 2 more moons to collect here, and then he's gonna grab the meat and leave lunch. Just about done. That's kind of a bad angle for that cap. He might be able to. It'll be close to see if he bonks into that torch. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay, adjusts a little bit in the spin jump, able to get the right angle then. Quick thinking on Stravos' part there. As Odme only has 1 more moon to collect in the seaside before he can head into luncheon himself.
Stravos being at least trying to be very optimal right there by just walking over that higher platform on the surrounded by tall mountains. Yes, Okra, I did my homework. I'm actually able to know some moon names now. Once again, that used to be the meme that any percent runners don't know any moon names, but doing the homework and yeah, trying to be optimal right there, walking over that platform and buffering the spin pound in the fall. Just the best strat, but not quite hitting it.
Yeah, so again, we'll have a scenario on me entering luncheon as Stravos is just leaving it. And then Stravos coming up onto the hardest kingdom in the whole run, Ruin Kingdom. So much can go wrong. It's so many disasters we've seen in Ruin Kingdom, man. No, it's pretty much a meme.
Stravos pretty much leaving luncheon as Odme is entering it, and if people just tune in, that's obviously looking like a huge lead, which it is. We cannot deny that fact. But the big thing that happened in this race for Odme is he did actually fall into the deep woods. I've talked about the potential of that happening a lot, and we can actually be super happy that that's the first time, because that wooded route is just so risky. But you have to do it at some point in your gameplay. Like when you reach a certain level of skill, you need to add that, and it comes with a huge risk. But if you want to compete at the highest level, you got to do it. Odme competing at the highest level in terms of screenshots and getting his third capture.
For sure. And let's see if Odme takes a bonk, takes some damage, but hopefully he'll be able to avoid dying on Skewer, unlike some runners somewhere. He is at 1 HP though.
That's exactly what happened to Stravos. So he's gonna be heading into the fight with 1 HP as well. Let's see if he can.
Please no. Please no. Don't. Oh my god. Alright, he's alive for now.
One more face.
Oh my god. Why am I nervous about Stewart right now? Oh my god. Alright, he's dead. Thank god. Good grief, man.
Okay. Stuart out of the way. The next very scary boss fight on Stravos' screen right there. I think only 1 more phase to go. Let's not have too much memes this run. I don't think Stravos is gonna do it. He's at 3 HP. It's really hard to mess this up. Actually, only at the second phase right now.
Yeah, the strat here is to damage boost, so you can just capture pull these swords out of the boss's head as early as possible. You know, first frame pulls would be perfect, but we're only human. So just being ready for it does involve some damage boosting, but there are hearts littered all over the arena, so you can just grab them and be healthy for literally every phase.
There's 4 hearts gathered there, so it's really hard to die there unless you actually mess around a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, we damage boost 3 times. After the 3rd time the fight is over, and there are 4 hearts, so it's really hard to actually die on this fight. But it has happened, we have seen it.
Not me falling into the lava there, which is actually pretty hard to back up after the lava sub-room.
Deadly Pepto-Bismol.
At this point, when you fall right there, going to overlooking, I think it's actually impossible to back up when you fall down there. Might be like some way.
Yeah, that is actually something we should point out real quick. Healing, when you take damage and you grab a regular moon, a single moon, it does have a healing animation which does lose you time. Ami heads into the shop. But when you take damage and you grab a multi-moon, it does not show you the healing animation. It does heal you, but it does not show you the healing animation, so it does not lose any time. Onme needs to accessorize in order to finish this run, clearly.
Yep. Gotta keep the mental high, so purchasing the crazy cap right here. Odme definitely showing some interesting choices here. Getting the twist and turn up Treasure Moon and Lost, and yeah, showing a ridiculous new Cappy skin. Very nice.
I mean, there are better things to go for than the crazy cap.
Oh, for sure. That's the most likely one.
So I mean, if you're going for an outfit, I gotta put a question mark there on me. Gotta put some doubt on you there, but he does get an outfit, so I can't be too mad.
Man, I can respect it though. He's still putting on a show. There's not much he can really do to contest Stravos' time at this point, unless he literally dies like a ton. But at least showing off some things we usually don't see in these races, a different Cappy skin showing some different spreads.
Yeah. This is one of those things you will see in all unique moons, 100% run. You know, you get to see all kinds of different outfits, all different kinds of different skins, all kinds of different sub areas and rooms and areas, all kinds of different things that are in this run. So you know, just a little taste of stuff. It's always good to see. Really good start at Bowser's though for Stravos. Kills the ogre. And Odme too. That is a bonk that hurts. He lives though. He recovers it. Oh my god.
Yep. So Crazy Cap not really helping here in the Fox room. I blame it on the skin.
100%. Oh my god, the repeat.
He did get Cloud Boost in Cloud.
He got Cloud Boost. You know, he's still a legend. He's still a legend, but this hurts a little bit to see.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That bonk obviously is the most punishing one he can get. But at this point, he's just a little desperate, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. Really nice shard section from Stravos.
Yeah. Stravos, even with some, obviously the one big mistake from Topper here, still probably easily a like top 25 run if he manages to close that out.
Mm-hmm. So we like to meme about it a little bit, but Stravos coming up on a section where you need to throw your cap and then dive again. And some runners have experienced what we're calling the value dive. He avoids it there, but sometimes for reasons, the direction that Mario dives is actually different from the direction the cap is thrown, and so you'll throw your cap left, dive right, and just die. Stravos.
I mean, it's a throwback. It's a throwback. Wait, how many purples? He has 0 purples and is talking to the purples guy. Very interesting choice. Yep. Still 70 coins, so you can at least purchase. Oh,
the
is it gonna be the clown head? Oh, that's a good choice. That's a good one, definitely. Throwback there to one of his other races I've been able to commentate with the full clown outfit. Very interesting choice there. Yep, definitely showing his skill here, showing why he's the best.
So you get to see the clown hair.
Gotta be honest here, it's a pretty interesting show off. Seeing some interesting head choices.
It's pretty hot. Oh, the furry. Fur's set up for Harriet.
Yeah, let's see if he does it on all phase. I think he usually only does it on phase 1. Seems to be the case again. It's really hard to figure out what Fur actually does. Literally nobody kind of knows. It has at least been figured out how to do it on the first phase, and I know that Stravos usually only does it in first phase to save a little bit of time.
First phase? I'm not sorry.
Oh man, I didn't even catch that one. I'll take it. Okay, so the one question that is actually interesting to me right now, since Stravos PD is pretty certainly not alive anymore, and Odme is just leaving luncheon right now, the one question that I'm actually gonna have here is Stravos actually, like, I want to hear some predictions from you, especially Okra. Is Stravos actually gonna head back into the Odyssey to defeat Bowser with the clown head? What do you think is going to happen?
100%.
Yeah, I see that one. I think Bowser has actually some interactions to Mario depending on what outfit he wears, but I think you need to get the actual full outfit to change his dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, and also the dialogue's in Japanese, so we won't. And we skipped the cutscene, so
Yep.
we can't know because we don't speak Japanese. B, we won't see it. So
Imagine like that's something I've never been thinking about, but imagine it would be optimal to buy a specific hat in Wooded because it changes the dialogue of Bowser in Moon, and it's like 2 less text lines. So I mean, probably not, like it's taking a long time that Mario has changed animation, but that would be ridiculous.
But yeah, both the runners sporting some interesting hats.
The clown hat actually looked too great. But Mario's hair changes as well, you know.
It's pretty funny, yeah. Yeah, some of the hats actually affect Mario's hair. The clown hat does, the scientist hat does. I think there's one more, but you know, it just changes the way he looks. And Stravos making sure to wait until the camera is no longer locked, so he has a full and clear view of that jump. Doesn't really feel like doesn't feel like risking that today. I can feel that.
So actually being very optimal right there on this poke, you climb if you slightly make some steps to the left and hit that up-moving circle thing. You don't need to additionally shake with the poke, which is sometimes so optimal poke you climb for him there.
And coming up onto the mech. Yeah, this is one of those things that's been kind of more and more optimized as time has gone on. A little bit of an older climb slope in Stravos, but it's still fast. Going for the for Yuya hit here, where you can buffer a spin pound on this platform and immediately miss.
Fall off the mech. I mean, he didn't fall, but you can slightly mistime your spin pound right there, and then actually can have some big consequence. But he was lucky enough that a platform was still below him.
Yeah. And just getting, you know, you obviously can't do anything in this phase, but here he's getting the setup for Harriet third, and he's going to attempt to get in position to get the to acquire the target onto Skewer here. Oh,
target missed.
Target missed. He did not acquire the target.
Yeah, if you actually line it up perfectly, you can basically, like just the way we snipe Topper with the spin pound, if you line it up perfectly, you can let the mech throw you back and then acquire the target, as we like to say, and then spin pound on top of Spear to save an additional 1.5 to 2 seconds over the original strat. Just backs it up, no big problem. Still with a solid lead. Yeah,
I mean, we like to kind of meme about acquiring the target, but that last spin pound on Spear is the hardest part of the entire fight. It's partially blind because of camera angle. It's a really poor position for visibility, and the inputs are really tight. So, you know, yes, you can miss, but you can also fall down like we saw just now, and it's really punishing.
I do think the target acquired strat for the last hit, which actually eventually at the start people were trying to aim towards the left platform of the bubble, and then spin pound as the mech moves towards you, which almost seems harder now because the setup for the target acquired, where you just literally spin pound on top of the bubble, seems to be more consistent. And reoccurrence here again, Odme leaving his Odyssey behind as Stravos just sees it right there. Oh, wait, there's a free Odyssey? I'm gonna take this one! And just basically gets that one and leaves the kingdom.
No mercy.
But yeah, Stravos heading into Moon, which his Moon is, I think, also the best in the world. At some point, I've watched the stream and he was relentlessly practicing the Bowser's refight. Especially the first hit there is different to the Cloud fight. We always say the Bowser's the Moon Kingdom Bowser's fight is a rematch, and it's pretty much the same in Cloud. But the first phase is actually different.
We actually, so we were talking about this just a little bit before, but despite Stravos having really fast Moon, we think he's gonna waste a little bit of time here. The game, once you get to the Moon, automatically puts you inside a white tuxedo so you can crash a wedding. But he purchased that clown hat. I think he wants to go back inside and wear the clown hat. We'll see what he does here. So it's either go forward to get the clown hat. Nah, man, I was excited for it actually. Oh well.
At this point, he maybe just wants to get the...
Oh, that is not how you do that.
Oh, I was right about to say, at this point, he probably just wants to get his Moon Gold set, because once again, his Moon Gold is already the best. The start looked very good, but you want to space out your triple jumps just perfectly to gain additional airspeed, which is the vectoring mechanic, which we use for the frogs and on some longer triple jumps. He shows it off right here.
Yeah, he went a little wide right on his vectors there, so he did have to cap bounce to get back onto the surface of the Moon, so slightly unoptimal there, but does save quite a lot of time over just regularly rolling and long jumping, you know.
Yeah. Yep. So Stravos coming up with Swing Slip. He notoriously usually does a spin pound on top of the swings, not opting for it here. Just playing it a bit safer with the normal ground pound. Spin pounds on Moon, very interesting strat there, actually. Just walking on top of that ledge to basically come closer to the cathedral entrance, probably faster. But yeah, spin pounds on Moon don't really work because there's that gravity issue and you basically fall slow, so you need to have a pretty much very frame tight spin pound to save time with it. Clipping usually is better.
And Odme did not get the capture warp there, the Bowser's Dram, as we like to call it, so... And he spent a good bit of time setting up, and he's going into a shop. Let's see what he buys this time. He's got 73 coins.
Oh, opted for the clown. So Stravos actually not getting his preferred spin throw strat at the start of the fight, and instead long jumping into the head, taking some damage. Shouldn't be a big deal. I hope he doesn't die here, but even if he does, there's not much longer to go. He's coming up in the very last seconds of the game. Phase 2, probably the scariest one in this fight, especially if Bowser stands on one of these higher hills. It's very hard to get the fastest strat. Still gets it, even though Bowser is on one of the higher mounts.
And there's Odme closing out the topper fight. Last phase coming out for Stravos. He's just playing jump rope with some fire, no big deal. And I think Odme's one of the only runners I've seen recently who does topper first. He is a heathen and he must be shunned.
There's actually quite a lot of top runners who do that as well. Chaos Springer notoriously one of them. Timpani, when it comes to other categories, definitely pretty much having like 3, 4, even potentially 5 world records in this game. Also a dirty topper first player. Odme trying to do first person strat. Completely missing because once again nobody actually knows how he does it, but at least he's tried it.
And it will be Stravos here in the escape section. Just has to survive the 2D skip, get some good pillars, and head on out of here.
Yeah, so once again, escape, another section that Stravos notoriously practiced to be very optimal in. There's actually one strat that I'm pretty sure he won't be going for, which we haven't actually figured out how it works. It still feels random for us. You can do an additional 2D wall jump. I mean, the 2D shortcut is very known. It's been around since pretty much November. I mean, pretty early in the game. And you can just do a very close jump here. Stravos is going to do it right here to avoid that right side 2D section. Saves 2 seconds, which is actually a lot of time for these two jumps. It's just very late in the run.
Yeah, the 2D wall jump is not very well understood yet, but we know about it. So, just one of those things for future testing and trying to nail it down. It doesn't save as much time as that 2D shortcut does.
If even any, it might save just a very, very small amount of time, but we don't really understand it yet, so yeah.
Alright, here we go in the pillar room. You can try to shoot 5 fireballs at this pillar and hit all of them.
Yep.
Those look really good. Oh my lord. He's done it. Fast pillar. So yeah, as long as he has, this is one of the things, there's lots of debris falling in this room, and so trying to hit the pillars and not the debris can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but as long as he doesn't hit too much debris, pillars will fall, head to the center, and he's going to close out with the mid 104, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if the timer is completely accurate, but definitely still a solid time for dying to Speward and buying a clown head. A time many people would wish for, but yeah, definitely still a very solid time that Stravos was able to acquire there. With like the timer was running for a little bit longer, but once again might have not been accurate. Let's just say it was a solid mid 104 time. Apparently 104.33 on his timer right there.
Yeah, really solid run time for all the things that occurred. It wasn't even that much that happened to him in his run, to be honest with you, but yeah.
Yeah, if we go back, there's this one obviously ginormous time loss, which is the death to Speedrun. And then there's falling of Mech on Harriet third, there's some bongs, some missed jumps, but other than that, that's obviously like a 104.30. Let me actually check. The leaderboard right now is Odme fighting the dragon, the Mech.
25 times, pretty sure.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure as well. Top 25 out of over 1,000 runners while buying a clown head. Then definitely this early game was pretty ridiculous. Very, very solid stuff.
Unfortunately, Odme also falling down, and Mac, he's on 1 HP. Needs to avoid death here. Going for the old birdless climb up the front of the leg here. Not quite in the right position. Nope. So he's just gonna grab a bird, try to climb up in time. Nope. Oh my god, he's 1 HP. Oh. Alright, please, Odme. Please.
Let's focus right here. This death is not as costly as the ruined one because the fight was longer, but in the later phases, it starts to lose a lot of time. Let's see if we can come back from this one. Hopefully not getting hit by one of these cannonballs. Only one more hit and gets it.
That was spooky.
Stravos being very confused what that metal thingy there is in Mushroom Kingdom. That's actually an amiibo exclusive like Helper, but amiibos are banned from the 80% speedrun, so he's not going to be able to interact with that.
Just taking some screenshots of Mario's derpy face now. A lot of times if you do things with Mario, if you backflip, if you initiate a double jump and you immediately freeze frame to go to screenshot mode, it can look really, really silly. So, kind of showing it off right now.
Yep, talking about frozen frames. What's up, guys? I'm actually still moving. I'm not frozen. Just some technical issues now, so I'm probably going to resolve that as soon as possible. Yeah. But Strav, once again, taking that win here. And if we go into the bracket right now, that's going to mean Stravos is either going to be facing my co-commentator right now, Okra, or he's going to be facing Nycro Vida, a very famous streamer of this game. Used to be a notorious world record holder for a long time. He's probably still going to be aiming for that as soon as he's going to be able to stream again. And yeah, Okra, by the way, pretty good opportunity here as Odme heads into Moon. How do you feel about that one, that matchup coming on soon? I want to say something. The first SMO race I've ever seen was you against Nitro on Speed Gaming, which has to be a long time ago. We didn't even know each other at that point, but a rematch, I guess. So I think you raced him before, right?
Did I race Nitro? I know I raced Value. I know that.
No, I'm pretty sure you raced Nitro.
Did I race Nitro? Wow, that must have been a long time ago.
Pretty sure I watched Open versus Nitro. That has to be like February or like March maybe.
Yeah, that was a while
no.
ago.
I'm very sure you raced Nitro.
So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna win. yeah, that's actually Rocks in chat has a good point. If I raced Valor, then I couldn't have raced Nitro because they raced each other in the finals, and I know for a fact that I raced Valor. So...
Wait, what did I watch? Maybe I watched you versus Vadu. I thought I was watching you versus Nitro at some point, but maybe not the case. Doesn't really matter. You are gonna be racing Nitro next round.
Unfortunately, yes.
So, what are your thoughts about that one?
Monka Omega, basically. Odme had, by the way, Odme had a nice save there. He actually was about to fall off on the bridge in Moon Kingdom, excuse me. Able to save it with a cap bounce there.
Getting moves without any problems.
I'm actually kind of in the middle of transitioning into other categories, so any percent's not my main focus. So I've upgraded to 1.2, which is not optimal for any percent. So I'm kind of already at a disadvantage to Nick, as well as not having as good a time. So like I'm 100% confident that it will not be me advancing into the next round. It probably will be Nitro facing Stravos.
Definitely not agreeing with that one. We've seen in this race, as probably the best we've ever seen it, how punishing some kingdoms can be here, especially if we think about Wooded as well. But obviously other mistakes like falling off Megan, all of these are possible to be done in a race. So definitely it's an opportunity. But round 3 is gonna have some insane matchups.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Odme started kind of being a little bit of a memer towards the end of this run, as he is. But it's like several minutes off of his PB here. Just the kinds of things that can happen if disaster happens to strike. So definitely not out of the realm of possibility, I guess. But let it be known, I'm not confident.
I mean, Nitro. Okay, Nitro definitely infamously a top runner, pretty much since the game started to evolve, and basically the speed game kind of got more competitive. I think I've watched him since he had like a 107, and he's been growing from there. Very excited to see him back online when he's able to. But yeah, Odme actually heading into the escape section right now. Another thing that we were not able to point out, he also did not go back into the Odyssey to switch into his clown outfit, so he also did defeat Bowser just in the casual wedding outfit. But yeah.
Unacceptable. I can't allow this race to continue. Terrible. But yeah, it probably looking like what is this, like a 113 time for Odme? So obviously nowhere near what his potential is here. I mean, his PB is like 10 minutes faster than this run.
Okay, Odme actually heading into the TV section.
Giving Mario a little wave there.
Getting to D-skip and XD-skip, which that name has a reason. It literally doesn't save any time. It's just
probably do this time, to be honest.
Yeah, in most cases.
But XD-skip, we're here for the memes, if nothing else. So yeah, this is looking to be probably a mid 113 time for Odme. See if he can get some fast killers going here.
Mid 113 time, yep. interesting time here. Obviously, not probably the most serious way for me. Obviously, let's not forget that fact. It would have been insanely hard for him to catch up after that, would it? And he knew, because falling there into deep was probably, like, let's be realistic, lost him at least 2 minutes. Like, just the way this would went for him. He also did not get nut clip, so he had to rock clip, and then he had to rock clip again, if you still remember that. He actually had to rock clip again to go to the fence nut section, and then at the very end he also fell down to the deep wood, so definitely losing around 2 minutes in his wooded.
In wooded alone, you know. Again, but one of the more punishing kingdoms, so not terribly surprising, but still unfortunate. But yeah, so I mean, closing out with a mid 113. GG's
113.45 by the looks of it, and yeah, GG's to both of the runners. Once again, Stravos advancing to the next round. Apparently a 1:3:37 time there for Odme at the end, so definitely going going all the way with his memes right there, showing us a little message. We will not be having a post-game race today because we will be going into a very short intermission to cut it short here for SM64, which will be happening just right now after a little transition. So thank you guys so much for watching. Interesting race, probably the most interesting round to race so far. Okra, thank you so much for commentating with me.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to follow our runners. They are super, super awesome and they go fast.
And also make sure to follow GSA, follow the twitch.tv/speedrun channel, follow us on YouTube, and see you guys on the next one.
Take it easy.